What's up, everybody? We are Better Than Ever. Welcome back to Born Again Better, the Daredevil watch-along. Now, if you're watching this, I'm assuming you've already seen Episode 3 and Episode 4. Based on the title and the thumbnail. If you've already seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, pause this video, go watch it, come back. You have time. So, in this episode, which is titled The Hollow of His Hand, the court session is in full swing for the innocence of Hector Ayala.
Yes.
They get the witness, that was the whole point of episode 2, to come in, who was absolutely useless.
Literally.
Who was shitting his pants.
Nicky, what's his name? Nicky Torres?
Nicky Torres, yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. They hide him, they stash him away,
yeah.
And eventually, I can say I did like the scenes with them trying to get him to the courtroom.
Yeah.
You know, the crooked cops pull over the wrong van.
Yeah, it felt like a nice, kind of like thriller movie. You know what I mean? Where you're not quite sure, how's he gonna get out of this? Like, after he pulls over the van, pulls over Charity into the van, and all right, is he gonna beat the shit out of this cop to kind of get free? But then you realize, okay, it's just a diversion. Like, there's the witness is in a taxi on his way. They finally get to the courtroom, and this leads to one of our first talking points: the Punisher symbol tattoo on some of these cops, because Nicky Torres is going to courtroom testify, and you see all these cops here. He's very overwhelmed. He's scared. And then they show some of the cops have symbols tattooed on the wrist or what have you. The Punisher symbol kind of identifies in the show what cops are crooked, I guess. Yeah. Kind of taking maybe matters in their own hand. You
find out it's a lot of them too, which is crazy.
It's quite a few.
First off, tattoos on the neck aren't really a thing. You're not really allowed to have them. Hands as well. A lot of times they depict these tattoos as clearly gang affiliated tattoos, and I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that I would think that something of that nature would be way more secretive than let me stamp a giant Punisher logo on the side of my neck.
Yeah, one guy reaches
for gang affiliated.
Yeah, one guy reaches for something, and it's clear as day on his wrist. You're not trying to hide that at all.
I understand why it's like that for the show's purposes.
I think it's just to show which ones you can't trust.
Yeah, it's like the low hanging fruit to get you there.
Yeah, they get the witness to the courtroom. He can't testify, so their whole defense goes out the window.
Yeah, well, he gets there and he just completely shits the bed.
He says
he refuses to tell the truth.
Refuses to testify, he's scared for his life, which kind of shows you okay, the cops definitely have a stranglehold on some of these people. The strategy goes completely out the window.
Yeah.
And then Matt kind of takes matters into his own hand. In the middle of the courtroom, Hector Ayala is testifying. He starts breathing him. He's oh, well, you're a hero, aren't you? Blah blah blah.
You can tell Ayala's super.
Yeah, he's
confused.
Completely confused, and he's just what are you talking about? What's going on here? I was completely shocked. I was.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock reaches in the bag and pulls out the white tiger mask in front of everybody.
Yeah, I can't say I was completely shocked by it. In hindsight, you could tell they made it a big deal. In the one episode, they're listen, we're gonna suppress this.
Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna do this. I think that was his wild card to try to hope to sway the judge. The jury did the way it was done. Yeah. It's probably my only major highlight from the episode in general.
Sure.
The shock reveal of Hector Ayala being the White Tiger, and then them proceeding that with all the testimonies and the police reports and the stories to say why he was such a good guy and why he could have never done this.
Yeah.
That depiction was nice, and you could just tell it was just Ayala's whole thing where it's not your thing to reveal, and
I like that. It was it was bold. It was a bold strategy. In the moment, I wasn't quite sure why he was doing it, and then quickly realized, like you said, he's trying to build up the case. Okay, he wouldn't do this to an officer. Multiple police reports, he was actually helping the cops. He actually saved cops' lives, and he was running into burning cars to save people. He was a hero. There was no reason for him to do this, and ultimately it worked.
Yeah.
On the backside of that, Matt Murdock as a lawyer has to realize he put a huge target on Hector's back.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the story's going to go in a direction where, okay, they're going to have to defend him against these cops with the Punisher tattoos, these fake fanatics. They're going to obviously go after him.
Yeah.
Even though justice was served in the courtroom as it was supposed to.
Even then, you could tell, just directly after that, they had the conversation where they're in that cell block, and he's talking to him about you just can't wear the mask anymore. You have to put the mantle down. I don't think he's necessarily talking to Ayala, really. I think he's really talking to himself.
Right.
But obviously, in the show's purposes, he's talking to Ayala about how he needs to stop wearing the mask. But that also leads to something I truthfully despise about the episode, and I will continue to beat this over the head in this show and any type of media. I hate the way they depict Hispanic characters in these shows. It drives me nuts. Over sensationalized, passionate, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I get it. We are a passionate people. We love our island and we loved it. I get it. But you do not have to shove it down our throat every single time. Like, I have written here, you know, the depiction of the Hispanics completely sends me, especially with, like, he's talking about the coquí, which is the frog of Puerto Rico. It's like our animal. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, the way he's passionate talking about, he's like, it's the animal. It sings its name and it's calling out to its lover and it's doing a this and a doing a that. It's like he's almost getting more Hispanic as he's saying the story. He's like, goes on, yeah. He likes talking like, yeah, Matt, you shouldn't have done that to me, but like the coquí and my people and I love it, the passion and my lure. And I'm like, bro, like, come on.
It's bad, dude.
It sends me every time, bro.
It's bad that we have this in, like, multiple episodes already.
Yeah, it's not even just in Marvel. It's in a lot of things.
Oh, no, it is.
And people make jokes about it all the time. Like, it's like the same thing with, like, Hispanics saying, like, one Hispanic word in their dialogue. Like, it's like, we get it. And I would love to go to the playa. Like, it's like, bro, like, we get it. I know what you are. And they just beat that.
It's
he's Hispanic, damn it.
You gotta recognize that he's a Hispanic man.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat this dead horse until it goes away.
I never understand why he did that. And, like, it's also the last time. So as the episode progresses, I guess it's the night before the verdict, where Matt Murdock walks into the courtroom, like, after hours. It's like golden hour, and he walks in, and it's his new church.
Yeah, I did like the fact that they showed it like it was pews almost.
Like, the music playing in the background too. Like, it. If you didn't really paying attention, you would think he's walking into an actual church and sitting in a pew. Religion was obviously a huge part of the character himself. Like, his name's Daredevil, the whole devil thing is obviously a big deal. But in the Netflix series, we're always going to compare it to. It was a huge deal. The church, his relationship with the nuns, the priest who practically raised him, like, it was a big deal. And now with him not being Daredevil anymore, or has been for the last year, like, it really makes sense that the courtroom is his new church. Like, this is his new safe space, if you would. This is where he goes to reflect and everything. Like, this is all he has now. Like, this is his church. It's where he comes to pray in different ways
and reflect and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. So, like, I really like the way they depicted that, because I was kind of annoyed that we didn't really see much of the church aspect of it anymore.
I mean, it seems like maybe I kind of hope he kind of comes back to it. They did show. I'm not sure if it was just this episode or episodes previous, where they showed flashes of the front of the church.
Yeah, but not like him sitting in church. Like
not him sitting like a previous. No. Like a Netflix, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I like the way they kind of show this as his new way of attending mass, if you would, sitting in an empty church after hours, and it's just a courtroom.
Yeah.
So we get the non-guilty verdict, which is what we wanted, which, you know, the whole master plan revealing him as White Tiger worked. And I want to say, not even 10 minutes later.
Una palabra.
What happened, Joel?
They show Hector getting dressed in his White Tiger outfit because he says he basically cannot live without the persona.
Yeah, that was a great scene. Him getting right in the suit.
Yeah, I was very much happy with that scene, with him like getting dressed and, you know, putting the amulet on. Well, backtrack. The amulet is puny.
It's so small.
It doesn't make sense.
It is minuscule.
Like,
you would think he's just wearing a regular piece of jewelry. You don't think this is any kind of magical powers to it at all, which, again, also is not depicted in any way. We give no backstory to the amulet, where he got it, nothing. We just know that it gives him power, but it is depicted as this tiny little thing.
And in the comics, it glows green. Like, this thing, you would think, like, glowing green eyes, something.
Nothing.
It's on a random, shittily beaded together necklace. Like,
it's like not like a rosary, is it? No, right?
No, it's just literally, it's beaded in red, white, and blue beads to depict Puerto Rico. Like, we get it. We get it. He's Hispanic. But he, you know, the suit up scene, the music choice, you're like, okay.
Cool.
He can't let it go. He's going to go out there and try to save people. I respect it. something that we talked about previously that I don't understand. You would think being a superpowered individual, we're gonna go from rooftop to rooftop. My boy's probably taking Ubers to like his crime scenes.
Bro, he's like jogging in the middle of Manhattan,
like looking like an Elmo.
He looks
like,
insane because he's just walking around, just waiting for crime to happen. Like it wasn't like, okay, you think like a vigilante, like I say a human vigilante, like no powers.
Yeah.
So I'd give you like a Batman. Yeah. Give it a Daredevil on the rooftops, waiting, listening to police scanners.
Something.
Nothing. My boy is just jogging around, waiting for something to happen.
My boy looks like he's just bootstrapping it.
So weird to see him just casually strolling along the sidewalks.
And he's walking around and he hears this woman screaming.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out where it is. And, he pinpoints where it kind of could be. And he starts doing this, not even like a superhero jog. He looks like a runner in the park.
Not even. So casual.
And then the second he crosses into like this sidewalk, some dude just walks up in the Punisher off logo, domes him. One shot to the dome. Like nothing.
What?
Like
are you kidding me? You build this whole thing up. You're giving us the white tiger for the first time in on screen. This whole episode was about him getting a non-guilty verdict, him finally having his justice. Like, all right, cool. Now let's see him in action. And you kill him off 30 seconds later. Are you fucking kidding me?
Domed him, clean.
Yeah, and then that's the assailant, if you would, walks out, and you see the shoddily painted Punisher
vest
emblem, which again, based on what was said earlier, is one of these like crooked cops who idolizes the Punisher for the wrong reasons in the wrong way.
Yeah,
we'll dive into that later. Why kill him off? Why
go through it all?
Why? And so this is what I was trying to allude to earlier. Like when they finally when Matt pulls out the mask, puts out his secret identity out there. I'm thinking, all right, now they're going to have to fight together to fend off these cops. I can picture Daredevil and White Tiger on this thing on a rooftop fighting somebody, just literally throwing hands, trying to defend him because all these cops are trying to come after him, and maybe like physical tie to some way, like maybe he'll send all the cops towards him, whatever, All that's gone. All that's completely gone. They threw it out the window as soon as they were able to. They just kill that whole storyline.
Yeah, you could tell, because obviously the show went through a lot of rewrites.
Yeah, yes, it did.
So someone probably wrote the White Tiger section hoping that it was going to be, a bigger storyline, and it probably initially was, right?
You don't introduce a character like that for 2 episodes.
For shock value. For literal shock value. Oh my
god, you had watched this episode first, and you texted me. You're like, "Fuck this show." I don't know why. I'm just like, all right. I don't know how I avoided spoilers for so long. This is like a week later. Seeing this for the first time, and I kind of the same sentiment. Fuck this. There's no way. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way. Even for a split second, I'm like, oh no, he has powers. I'm not gonna kill him. Like he'll bounce back from that. Nope. He's dead.
Yeah. One shot to the dome.
What a waste. Oh, God.
And then let's just wrap it all up with a nice little bow. Something else that drives me fucking insane. Hector, in the middle of the episode, is talking about how much he loves the beaches of Puerto Rico and they're beautiful and all this stuff. And I get it. He's talking about the coquí and Puerto Rico. Get it. Totally. Let's end the episode with him getting domed. And then we're going to cut to the whole outro of just the coquí sound and the fucking ocean sound.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, because we have to show that Hector went to the big playa in the sky. You Marvel, fuck you. Fuck you. That is such, it's ass. It's just ass. It's not a fan.
No, I was shocked for all the wrong reasons this time. I can't believe it did.
From a good shock with the reveal to a horrible shock.
All right, cool, right? Bold strategy to having him reveal his secret identity and okay, you obviously know it's going to backfire some way and that's going to lead off to a bunch of other stuff. Nope. Nope.
Domed. Cookie.
So that was episode 3. Mm-hmm. The Hollow of His Hand. We're gonna dive right to episode 4,
which I think was, for me, just a better episode.
Yeah.
In general.
Coming off that huge cliffhanger, like it kind of had a lot of stuff to go on.
Well, don't worry, it wasn't a cliffhanger for long. We're gonna have to sweep this one up.
Yeah.
Because they're cataloging Ayala's stuff.
You see the medallion again. The amulet.
Yeah.
Again, it's holding a tiny little thing.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if the guy cataloging his stuff was superpowered for half a second.
It's actually really good.
He's like, why is the amulet so light?
But it's so small, it's a blink if you miss it.
You had no idea. Yeah. So they catalog all this stuff, they fold it up, and then obviously Matt goes to the morgue. He's talking to, I guess, the guy doing his autopsy and everything. And the guy's, he's clearly on the side of the cops. He's like, well, the bullet wasn't with the body. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, he's like, what do you want me to do about it?
Yeah, like, I'm an asshole.
It's not wrong.
I get it, but like,
it's not there.
He's a dickhead about it.
Yeah, he's not a detective. He can't go out.
And then, of course, we have to show that the niece is clearly Hispanic because she walks in and she goes, I want to see mi tío. I'm like, bro, like.
I think it's the way you say it that just gets me every time.
But then she says nothing else.
No, I think the whole conversation.
She just drops the one word, mi tío. I'm like, oh my god. Just first off, the guy would. He's gonna look at you like you're fucking nuts. My uncle's Hector Ayala. He was brought in here. I want to see him. I would understand. But whoever wrote that line, he was like, I ate with this one. I looked it up. Mi tío means uncle.
I looked up. Like, go to Google Translate.
Yeah. Where can I make this character seem more Hispanic?
But we don't even see her previously before this moment, right? It's the first
we see her in the courtroom.
We do, okay. Oh, so yeah.
She's standing next to her mother, I think.
Yeah.
Or
his wife.
Yeah, because I think it's his wife, his sister, and his niece, all in the courtroom together. So
they put a lot of emphasis on the character, and like we were talking about this earlier, like off screen. Is she gonna pick up the mantle?
Well, in the comics, she does. Like, she picks it up eventually. I think there's 4 people that have the mantle. I think it's like Hector Ayala, the niece. I think his sister.
There was some other random character I think
and somebody else.
Isn't related to either one of them. But like I was thinking like that too. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. She's way too young, I think. And then she's tiny.
Yeah.
She gives Matt a hug, and she is like at his chest. Like, she is tiny. So like, if she was like fully grown, if she was like an adult, okay, maybe a Kate Bishop situation. But like, she's young, but she's like still not 4 foot nothing.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So like, okay,
she's not coming from the Shire.
So, yeah. So I'm not quite sure like if she's gonna pick up that mantle or not. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, I can say this: a redeeming quality of that scene alone. The scene with her talking to Matt Murdock, I did appreciate. Like, that seemed like a decent scene. Matt trying to console her and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that per se. I thought that was a fairly decent scene. As much as I didn't hate the episode, I thought the episode was probably my favorite episode of the series so far.
It had some really good moments.
But just like you said, it had very good moments because it felt almost cobbled together.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like this was like, all right, we have like 3 or 4 rewritten episodes. Let's kind of just mush them together.
Yeah.
I think the overall narrative kind of flowed, but there was just some scenes in there that felt like they might not have been a part of this episode initially.
You get Daniel, one of the mayor's aides. I guess we'll call him the mayor's aide. At like the club at night or whatever. And like we'll get into it later. But then after, like, I think on the same night, whatever it was, like the guy gets arrested. That I guess Matt takes on pro bono work from the state, whatever. And like the character is there to kind of show you like the system is broken.
Yeah.
Okay. This has nothing to do with the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Matt, like, he understands, okay, this is how it works, this blah blah blah. He's trying to cut a deal, he's trying to get him like not in jail, but it's just gonna kick him out again. He wants probation, all this. It was a nice way to depict, like, hey, yes, the system like has its flaws, like this man is clearly struggling, and like the system's like built up against him, and like these are like real life issues that they're tackling. But it didn't fit with anything else kind of going on with the narrative.
Yeah. It was like a very like light part of the episode to show why he feels the need to possibly go back to his old ways.
Yeah.
It was like, if that's the straw that broke the camel's back, I'm surprised it didn't happen 15 days before.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, okay, this. How many times? Because like the way he's also going about it, it feels like he's done this multiple times as a lawyer.
Speaking of that, by the way, the lady he's talking to try to get this thing settled.
Oh yeah.
Crazy horny for Matt Murdock.
Oh yeah.
Murdock is putting the squeeze on the girl.
He's using his like heightened senses, like the smell and everything. Like,
you're Latvian.
Yeah.
You had a honey cake this morning, sweetheart. Blind thing, you know. Just me, Matty M's. Just smelling your breath.
Matty Murdock.
Matty Murdock. Smelling that breath and shit. No, you gotta be laughing.
It's like, that was cool, like him kind of using his like abilities, if you would, kind of everyday lawyer life.
Yeah.
But the way he's going about it feels like very systematic. So like, he's definitely seen cases like this before. So why now, after like Hector, he's just like, well, now I see it in a different light?
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. The guy said something that was very like impactful. He said they would rather spend more money to keep me in jail than to, feed me and all this stuff.
Yeah,
I get that, but 100%. I'm pretty certain that as a lawyer who does a lot of pro bono work, he would have seen this 1,000 times over. I don't think that this guy, who's a complete asshole, let's keep it call a spade, he's an asshole, making fun of Matt being blind.
That's true. Yeah.
And that this is the guy that's gonna shake him loose.
I think he was just trying to depict that idea that like the system in general is completely flawed. Like you said, like maybe this is what brings Daredevil back to kind of take justice into his own hands again. Mm-hmm. It just felt kind of a little out of place. Like,
it just feels like a weak reason.
I feel like there's bigger issues, like with the whole Iola death and everything. Which
should have been the thing that brought
I feel like this was kind of brushed under the rug a little quickly. So now he's just like, okay, like I guess I'm going back to regular lawyer work, and now I need to bring back Daredevil. It felt a little kind of odd.
Yeah. So clearly, Matt decides to like check out the scene in which the crime happened. Because obviously he knows the bullet wasn't found.
Yes.
And he uses his senses to kind of figure out where the bullet could have traveled to.
Does he hear the bullet?
He throws like a glass bottle or something, like a little like nip.
To see where it would fall.
And it hits the ground kind of in the same area, and it rolls down the street and ends up going into this sewer grate situation. Okay, the likelihood of it, a bullet in a bottle being shot at from different trajectories, different speeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, I was thinking too, it's like, there's no way like the detective did not find this.
Oh no, I'm just assuming that's their attempt to say like they didn't want to find it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because obviously he found it so quickly, but he ends up locating it. He feels the insignia on it, realizing, it's the Punisher logo.
I have to say, what is also so fucking stupid. Because, like we said earlier, all these cops have these visible tattoos. Yeah. So you have it on their bullet casing. Like, that's
clearly it's us.
Yeah, like exactly. Like you want to get caught. Like there's like a calling card. Like we know it's you, you fucking losers. Like it was so like why? That's so.
Yeah, it's just excessive.
It is. It's you're putting on your bullet casing. We also matching tattoos. Like, you think no one else could put two and two together? Like,
we the biggest gang in the city.
You're not wrong. That's what it feels like. Yeah.
But obviously he figures that out, and then something I just didn't understand, and maybe you understood it better than me. I don't get how he finds Punisher.
No, me neither. I see it's maybe some idea. Maybe it's kind of keeping tabs on him a little bit, or where he could be. But like, that's a smell, dude.
Two parts of that. I don't know how he finds Punisher, and I don't know how Punisher doesn't realize he's walking in there.
Yeah, clearly he's on edge.
He's on edge. You would think there'd be cameras everywhere. Surveillance.
Yeah, you would think you'd...
Booby traps even.
No, she's like shocked. It's like, how'd you get in here?
Yeah, and he just happens to walk into this random underground bunker situation, and he knows Frank Castle's in there. And he walks in, and he goes, I know you're in here, and then Frank...
Frank, he's confused.
His axe. Frank, it's Matthew.
Yeah, it's Matt.
Martha.
What are you doing here, Red? Like,
yeah. So the beginning of that scene I was not a fan of.
No.
But the scene itself, I was very happy with.
Yes.
He's clearly talking from a place of grief and everything he's going through personally, and trying to get Matt to see it in a different light. Trying to get him to say Foggy's name, and this is the reason why you're really doing this. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about. like we're not very much different, yada yada yada. And I did appreciate how impactful that scene was. Yeah. Happy that John Barenthal made them fucking rewrite that shit.
Yeah. So this episode came out a couple days ago, and I want to say like the day after, 2 days later, like reports came out that John Barenthal was so unhappy with the character that they initially written that he refused to do it. You know how bad it has to be for the actor to be like, I'm not touching this. Like, you have to rework this character or get somebody else.
Especially with the check that Marvel probably provided him.
Oh yeah, because he was in obviously Daredevil season 2. He had his own show. Like he is the MCU Punisher, and there's no doubt about that.
And if you would have recast him, there would have been an uproar.
Chaos. People would have been pissed. People probably wouldn't watch it because of that reason. He was so good as the Punisher. Like that's a good reason for people to stick around. I want to see that character. I want to see how poorly written he was, where the actor was like, I am absolutely not doing this.
I'm sure eventually some script or something will come out.
Yeah,
it'll come out eventually.
But no, it was a really good scene. Him trying to bring out that side of Matt again.
And he gets him to break down eventually.
He does. He starts crying and everything. Yeah, he punches him in the face.
Yeah.
He punches Punisher straight in the face.
Punisher's like, yeah, and
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I need that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I wake up every morning.
Yeah, but he's almost saying to him like, okay, you needed that more than I did.
Yeah.
But I like the way that they were able to trauma bond, I guess. You know what I mean? Where he's like, oh, I see my son every time. Like I move, I close my eyes. It's like, again, there's like some similarities there where he's like, you're not out of this. Like,
yeah, you got a long way to go, friend.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I also have to mention too, because Punisher very quickly was straight up dismisses all these like fake fanatics. I forgot what phrase he used. He might use something like that.
Fanboys.
These fanboys, which completely have the wrong idea. Which again, real life parallels. All these cops using the Punisher logo, it's like the thin blue line and everything. Punisher would have killed all these fucking cops.
Yeah,
you are completely misreading the character if you are using that symbol. I'm happy that they're acknowledging it because it's so stupid to use it nowadays. Like the whole point, the Punisher hates the system. That is literally the whole point. He is anti-hero. Like he is just no. Like you completely misuse it. It irks me to my soul when I see that. Like, it just drives me insane. And like, so I'm happy there was acknowledgement in the show. It's like, hey, these symbols are not. It got to the point too where in the comics, like they changed his symbol because like his old symbol is just being affiliated with like all cops and Blue Lives Matter and everything. I'm happy they kind of leaned into it a little bit where they're just like, no, we're gonna rework that like imagery, you know, like in the show they're just like they kind of owned it. They were like no, you're all idiots. Like I'm happy they were able to do that, like acknowledge it.
Poke fun at themselves a little bit.
Exactly.
I'm kind of cool with that.
It was a great scene. The Daniel thing has been mentioned as well. Whenever Michael Gandolfini's on screen, he steals the show. Yeah. I don't know what it is about when I see him. I'm so excited just to see him like in something. But whenever he's on screen, I'm like, he completely steals the moment. Like, he's great. Like, he leaked the thing to BB.
By accident, which is apparently his friend.
Yeah, apparently his friend. He do that on purpose?
I don't know.
There's definitely something.
There's something about him, bro. I just don't know what it is. I'm not sure who he's going to be affiliated to someone.
Yeah.
I just don't know who.
He's working for somebody. I guarantee he's working for somebody. The way you weaseled in. And then I want to say he did this on purpose because he goes on this big rant where he's just like kind of confessing his loyalty to him. Like, I'll vote for you no matter what. Like, I don't deserve this. I messed up, blah, blah, blah. To the point where like Fisk is like, whoa. Like, stop crying. Like, we'll keep you on board, blah, blah, blah. But like, he's kind of just showing like his loyalty. Like, he's trying to get like as close as he can to Fisk. And like, I want to know what he's about.
Yeah, I want to know why.
I don't want to look up the character, but like I'm so curious. Like more than anything else, like I'm so curious to see like what his deal is. But again, I think Daniel, I don't remember his last name, but like the character is great. Michael Gandolfini is great. Big highlight for me of the show.
Yeah, they're lining it up that eventually he's going to take over that lady's spot.
Oh, he's definitely going to be like number 2 for Fisk. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so as well.
And I think at that point we're going to figure out that he's nefarious in some way. Yeah. Like he's eventually going to pull the rug out from underneath Fisk somewhere.
Trying to get as close as he can first.
Yeah. So there's another part of the scene, the episode in general, that we're talking about like Vanessa's infidelity. You know, we're talking to Matt Murdock's girlfriend and therapist, Heather, and we're going back and forth and we're talking about the infidelity, and they're having a conversation which almost depicts that Fisk possibly murdered this individual.
Yeah.
But obviously, as we fast forward through the episode a little bit, you know, we see the parallels between Matt Murdock and Fisk going from trying to do everything right, like, Fisk being the mayor, Matt Murdock being, the lawyer, devolving into what they really are, which is Kingpin and Daredevil. Yes. And as we get to the second part, that latter part with Kingpin, we see that he has the person that Vanessa was sleeping with in a cage.
Adam, yeah.
And he's eating fucking pasta in front of this man with sausages
and shit, yeah. And then also, too, he walks by that painting.
Yeah, the painting from season 3.
From all 3 seasons, he was like obsessed with this painting. And he was staring at it forever. He had the blood stain on it. I think from like the final scene, final fight in season 3. Like he also just kind of walked right past it. Yeah, too. So he kind of kept it. But he kept it hidden in this like secret
bunker situation.
Dungeon, weird sex dungeon thing he has going on.
50 Shades of Fisk.
But yeah, it shows you like that side of Fisk never left.
Yeah, so there. It looks like we're gonna finally get to the point where, and it shows why, like they continue to show Fisk's hands throughout the show, with clearly he's in a suit and he's put together, but there's something dark about the fact that he's cuts on his knuckles and his hands are all jacked up. It's probably because he's beating the shit out of this man.
Oh yeah.
In this little cell block he has going on.
Torturing him.
He's torturing this man. Yeah. And Fisk is a strong boy. He's probably broken every bone in his body. But on the other half of that, which I really do like, and I'm pretty sure you do as well, we see Matt Murdock going through the similar parallels to eventually get to the point where he's looking at his own Daredevil outfit.
Yeah. We're
going to finally, hopefully, get to the point where we're going to have Daredevil and Kingpin back in the show.
I hate how it took so long to get here. It took 4 full episodes to get to this point. But like, I was happy to finally see like the actual physical suits and masks.
And we had multiple of them.
Yeah. So one in particular. So you're looking at the scene where he walks in. He has like what, 5 or 6 masks lined up.
It's 5.
You see like a bunch of red ones. You see the yellow one he wore during She-Hulk. He wore like the yellow and
the yellow and brown one. Is it
yellow and brown? It's like yellow and red. I think like the original suit. His original suit was yellow and red. I think. Whatever it was. And then it's kind of pans through them, and then it stops on the last one, which is like silver one. So I'm wondering if I don't know. This is me just kind of theorizing. If they're gonna bring out the '90s armored suit that people absolutely,
you might need that shit the way fucking Hector Ayala got domed.
That's what I'm saying. Like the fact so the armored suit was like a big change in the '90s. Like a very campy '90s thing. People were not happy
Metal
about it.
Extreme.
Exactly, you're 100% on the nose with that. Like that's what it was. And so it's like a silver metal suit. He has armored like shoulder pads. The suit's mostly black with like I think red stripes or something. And it does look a little insane, but it's very campy, very 90s, like on the nose, just extreme, Extreme. And so I'm wondering if they're going to give him some kind of version of that, because whether like the Hector Ayala death, like we're not just coming against like kind of regular street thugs. Like these are cops who have armories at their disposal, essentially.
Yeah, but does he really have anything to worry about if Bullseye couldn't hit him?
That's true. If Bullseye couldn't do it, what makes you think these guys are gonna do it? But
it's just a random, just Joey the cop, Joey the cop with a Punisher logo, because he's gonna dome you one time.
There's police issues like
just me with my little 6-shooter.
Like I don't. It might be a little overkill, but like I feel like they might give him that.
Yeah, I'm sure this isn't the last time we'll see Bullseye either. I'm sure Bullseye will somehow make an appearance.
We also haven't seen him since that first episode.
Yeah, I'm sure somehow he'll get out and do his thing. But.
I don't get it. But so at the end of all this, when they're showing the parallels between Fisk and Matt, like going back and forth, we get another shot at Muse, the other big bad, I guess. They show him at the very beginning of the episode, and then they show him at the very end where he's dragging somebody down to his fucking lair, another sex dungeon. throws him on the table, and he's literally sucking the blood out of him.
Yeah, while he's alive.
While he's alive, which is dark.
Super dark.
So I didn't really catch this, but you said he uses the blood for his paintings, which makes sense from being Muse and everything. Like just the name alone. Where the fuck does he tie into any of this?
Bro, I'm telling you, like that's my biggest takeaway from this episode. Besides the fact that I think there's probably 3 or 4 good episodes in here. They're just kind of tied together. Like the Muse scenes in general aren't bad.
No, not bad, but
they just don't make sense in this episode.
No, because I'm thinking like, okay, like there's got to be like a bigger picture here. Like what is Muse's like goal besides just capturing people using their blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure it's something like he's like an anarchist of some kind, and
possible.
He's trying to break the system and thinks Fisk is the issue. And
yeah, possible.
Which, agree.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, is he? I'm kind of theorizing here again. I'm like, is he tied to Fisk? Is he tied to fucking Daniel? For all we know, is he tied to Punisher? Like, there has to be some kind of connection here because this feels so random.
Is he Daniel?
I thought so, but he's really skinny.
Yeah.
If I would get enough feet, he's not that skinny. Like, not
like we're gonna send him.
Yeah. Like,
takes the mask off. Daniel.
It's like I just don't know where he ties into this, and like you're introducing this character. I don't know if you saw him in episode 3 or not, but I think episode 4 was the first time, the very beginning. What?
This just hit me.
What's that?
Daniel, BB, they were with a third person. That really skinny female.
I think could be them. Possible, yeah. I can see it. I can see them all working together. Maybe try to tear down Fisk or something. Yeah, I could see that.
We'll see. I don't know.
Interesting. I gotta go back and watch that now. See if there's any little hints they might have dropped.
I don't know.
Oh, our friend's an artist. You know what I mean? If they drop something like that, I gotta go back and watch. But it's not a bad theory.
It kind of just hit me because they have a random third friend. Because then why would you not just show him and BB at the club together? Who is that third person?
But so the beginning scene with Muse, the beginning of the episode, is like, isn't it right after the club scene?
It might be. I kind of want to go look back at it. Yeah. That actually just hit me as we were talking.
Not a bad one.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If it's something, the 400, hopefully a couple people that see this, you know.
Yeah, all 12 of you.
I was going to say 3 originally, but hopefully the 40 of you that see this go, it was set here first.
Very curious to see how he plays into this. It felt very random though, which I did not like. It did not feel like it wasn't like they were talking about somebody like, oh, there's somebody else out there, blah blah blah. Then it cuts to Muse. It just felt like they just kind of squeezed in that scene. You know, like the whole episode is sandwiched between 2 random Muse scenes that don't tie into anything else we just saw. Very, very weird. And then the only thing else, like besides those key moments, the episode's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's good in pockets.
Yeah, the stuff in between when he's like talking with Heather and all this, I'm just like, all right, let's move on. Like, let's get on with this. Even some scenes with like Fisk and like Vanessa, when they're sitting there, like I know obviously you find out more about like Adam later on, but like sometimes I'm just like, I felt a little bored. I'm yawning a little bit. I'm just like, it felt kind of smattered together, like you said. And it had its key moments, but in between, I'm just like, this is the first episode where I'm like, I like picking up my phone. You know, and like I normally don't do that, especially like watching for the channel. But it's the first time where I found myself just like, all right, what else is going on?
Like I said, it just felt like this could have been like 4 or 5 10-minute episodes.
Yeah. Could it be?
But I will say something that made me laugh. Neither one of us brought it up as a highlight, low light, positive or negative, but it made me laugh because it was so ridiculous. We built this city. Yeah. The kids singing it, and then the Latvian people singing it. I was like, why is this?
Why?
Someone definitely thought that was the funniest thing in the world.
Also, something I saw today, though, is that apparently those kids were singing it so well, they had to reshoot it multiple times. Or at least do multiple takes. They had to pull random kids to go in there who were singing off key. Because apparently they kept singing it like... Because it was like, I guess, choir of some kind. They're not going to hire just random kids to sing the song. But apparently they sing it so well, they kept redoing it till they got it worse and worse and worse.
Good.
And it was bad too. He saw Fisk like twitching while he was there singing.
They're like, and then with the next song, he's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, fantastic work. Good job, kids.
You got so much talent.
So those are our thoughts, reaction, theories possible on episodes 3 and 4. If you liked what you saw, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, share it, like it, so your highlights or lowlights of the episodes. And we'll see you next time for episode 5. Once again, I'm Steven. That is Joel. Catch us over here, and we are better than ever.
Peace.